Hola otra vez. Bienvenidos a Lightspeed Spanish. This is the video number 6 in the series of making the subjunctive easy. 6 videos, and there are going to be more, so it's not that easy. But listen, what we're aiming to do here is just show you some patterns and show you some kind of families of the kind of things that the subjunctive is used in. Okay, so we've covered hopes and we've covered opinions. Okay, and we're looking at future events. So we looked at in the last video we've looked at cuando, en cuanto, tan pronto como. Okay, so when, once, and as soon as. So just follow the pattern. Look at these as kind of talking about hypothetical future events. Yeah. Or just talking about future events, not necessarily hypothetical. Sometimes it can be very, very absolutely, they are going to happen, and you still have to use the subjunctive. Let's look at this one. Let's have a look. En caso de que. En caso de que. In the case of. Okay? So, the type of sentence that you're going to use with this is like, look, in the case of them not coming. Okay? Or in the case of them coming late. Or yeah, let's do that. In the case of them not coming, okay? So we've got en caso de que, this is your trigger for your subjunctive, in the case of them, yeah? En caso de que no vengan, en caso de que no vengan, ¿qué haremos? So in the case of them not coming, what will we do? ¿Vale? En caso de que no vengan. Or in case they arrive early. Okay, imagine that. In case they arrive early, what would that be? So en caso de, so arrive is llegar, so we've done this, haven't we? So en caso de que lleguen temprano. Now, there's something that I'd like to sort of point out now that you tend to see these things go hand in hand. We're talking about the subjunctive, okay? So look at this this sentence. In the case of them arriving early, they'll have to sit there. Okay? In the case of them arriving early, they'll have to sit there. What happens with the subjunctive many times is that the future tense, this is the future tense, this is this comeré, comerás, comerá, comeremos, comeréis, comerán. Yeah? That one, the will future, that tends to work a lot with the subjunctive. So in the case of them coming early, they'll have to sit there. See? En caso de que lleguen temprano, tendrán que sentarse allí. Okay? Tendrán, they will have to. So very often with the subjunctive, that will future, it isn't always, sometimes it's going to, okay, but quite often will works with subjunctive, kind of goes in as a balance. Okay, so we've got in the case of. What about this for a future kind of a hypothetical future? This one, puede ser que. Puede ser que. So you've got it's kind of puede ser que is it could be, it can be. It's like it's a possible. It's possible, yeah? Puede ser que. And now this is kind of like talking about something, it's a possibility that this is the case, we don't know. Like there's a sort of a future element to it. We'll find out. It's possible that, and we'll find out, yeah? So again, that's another trigger for the subjunctive. Puede ser que, it could be that they are angry. It could be that he's angry. Okay. Now, to be angry is estar. I'll use the colloquial version. Estar cabreado. Okay. Cabreado. It's used a lot in Spain, that one. So it could be, we would say in English, it could be. Okay, but it can be in Spanish. Puede ser que, trigger for the subjunctive, and estar. So, how would that be? It could be that he's angry. Puede ser que esté cabreado. Puede ser que esté cabreado. Okay, so this is it's basically a trigger for the subjunctive because you're talking about this hypothetical situation, a possibility, a future thing. Yeah, we'll find out in the future. That's probably the way to look at it. Okay, so what about this one? Again, this is a kind of it's a future event because this sentence, I'm doing this so that, or in order that, future event. I'm learning Spanish in order that I can speak it better. Yeah, or in order for me to speak it better. Let's say that because that's how we would say it in English. Now that sentence, in order that, is para qué. Para qué. Okay, now you'll have heard this. Para qué. Para qué is a trigger for the subjunctive. When you use para qué, in order that, subjunctive. Okay, so I study Spanish in order that I speak it better, or in order to speak it better. Okay, so that would be estudio español para que hable mejor. See? So I study Spanish so that I can speak better. Yeah? O para que, sí, para que lo hable mejor. Mm-hmm. So you would hablar in subjunctive, hable, yo. Mm-hmm. So again, para qué? You could say to somebody, why are you doing that? For what reason are you doing that? Okay. Why are you putting salt on the food? Mm-hmm. In order that it has more flavor. In order for it to have more flavor. Para que tenga más sabor. Para que tenga más sabor. La comida. Mm-hmm. So again, this is it's a future, isn't it? You're asking in order to do something. Why are you doing this? In order to, so that in the future it has. Okay, so these are all subjunctive things that are tied to a future event. Now we know that if you put salt on food, it'll have more flavor. It's a given. Okay, but even though it's a given, you can't use this rule of, well, it's an indefinite future or hypothetical future, whatever. Basically, para que needs a subjunctive. Okay? Even though we know it's true. It's not about truth or untruth. It's about trigger. Para qué? Mm-hmm. Porque, ¿para qué trabajo? ¿Para qué trabajo? Why do I work? Para que tenga dinero. Why am I working? In order to get what? In order to have more money, or to have money. Para que tenga dinero. Claro. Por eso trabajo. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what have we done? We've looked at some other sort of what we would call unrealized events, future events that haven't quite happened yet, or at least we're moving toward them. Okay, so we've said, for example, en caso de que, in the case of something happening, in the case of, that makes sense, doesn't it? That's kind of like an unrealized, a possible situation in the future. Pero en caso de que, trigger for the subjunctive. Yeah. Puede ser que, it could be that. There's another trigger for the subjunctive. Puede ser que, it's a possibility. We'll find out in the future. Okay. And para qué, in order that. Okay, so whenever you use para qué to explain in order to have something or to do something, then that's a subjunctive. Okay, so we've got little groups. We've got hopes, yeah? We've got hopes. We've got requests also. I want. We've got opinions. And now we've got kind of things in the future, okay? So, look, I'm throwing lots of stuff at you. If you're watching these videos in succession, you're going to have a lot of stuff in your head. Doesn't matter. Take one and spend time with it. Just listen to it over and over again until you've got that kind of family in your head of ones. I'm not giving you all the options. Good, I'd be here for 3 weeks. I'm just giving you kind of a flavor of it. But as long as you understand the families and what are you doing with the language for it to demand that you use the subjunctive, this is the point of these videos, ¿vale? Entonces, vamos a por el número 7, oer. Entonces, hasta luego. Adiós.